Blood of Zeus Season 1 left off with a truly gigantic finale. The giants are sealed again, the demons are slain, and Seraphim is dead. Heron was last shown to be alive and on the way to recovery, surrounded by his friends and the gods of Olympus. Yet this is not what one would call a true happy ending, and there are still many questions left unanswered. All of these will hopefully be answered in Season 2, that Netflix already announced. An official release date is yet to be confirmed, but many speculated that a release somewhere in 2021 is feasible. Nevertheless, production can of course be further delayed due to the COVID situation. But let's get to the most important part already. What is Season 2 about? The show's creators, Charley and Vlas Parlapanides, have given a few short statements regarding Season 2. Season 1 is about Heron and Seraphim, and their stories continue in Season 2. But we have a 20-page outline for Season 2, and it's very much a story of Zeus, Hades, and Poseidon. Some things that happen in Season 1 are really setups for Season 2, and we go back to the story of when the brothers divided the three realms of the world. So the first impression is Season 2 will basically feature a main story that takes place after Season 1, combined with a serious amount of flashbacks. Let's go through this step by step. Following the Great War against the giants, Zeus is dead and Hera is laying low. The king and queen of Olympus are gone, and the gods are now without rule. The question who is going to fill the empty spot will most likely be a major plot element, and could potentially divide the gods once more. We don't know where Hera is and what her condition is at the moment, but even if she decided to return to Olympus, I'd be deeply surprised if the other gods were willing to let her be queen again, after, you know, she tried killing half of them and brought the giants back to life. So for now, her return to power isn't very likely. Far more likely is that one of the other gods takes on the throne. In accordance with monarchical traditions, Zeus's and Hera's firstborn should be taking on the throne, which would be Ares. Ares appeared to be powerful and determined, and he's got his priorities straight, so I can imagine him not being averse to being leader. Nonetheless, especially because of his position as the god of war, I feel that Ares firmly believes whoever is strongest deserves to sit on the throne. In terms of power alone, it is often said that Poseidon has never been far behind Zeus, but Poseidon was portrayed to be rather uninterested in Olympus politics. During all of Season 1, he was nothing more than a side character and seemingly only cared about his precious ocean. It would be suiting that he simply declines the offer of becoming king. Next to Poseidon, Zeus had other siblings, who are Hestia, Demeter, and Hades. Since out of these only Hades has been introduced into the storyline, let's focus on him for a second. Hades is the ruler of the realm of the dead. It is important to know that the realm of the dead should not exclusively be associated with hell, and Hades should not be associated with the devil. These comparisons have been drawn in some depictions, but aren't actually correct. The realm of the dead is nothing more than the place where all souls go, without exception, and Hades dutifully rules over that realm. In original Greek mythology, Hades is not a villain. In fact, after doing a little research, I didn't find much evidence that he has done things that are comparable to other gods' deeds. The creators have certainly done a better job at portraying the gods closer to their mythological selves than other movies and shows. What gives me hope that TV could finally see a Hades that isn't written off as a superficial villain. At the end of Season 1, Hades was speaking to Seraphim and offered to avoid his punishment. Since it is confirmed that Seraphim's story isn't completely over yet, we can be quite sure that Seraphim chooses to follow Hades. The problem with this scene is that it isn't obvious what it signifies. Hades knows that Seraphim has committed many evil deeds during his lifetime, and that he actively waged war against the gods. Why would he go so far as to help Seraphim if he doesn't have any bad intentions of his own? This possibility isn't outstandingly convincing though, because Hades actually has a certain sense for justice, which he needs to determine which souls deserve a pleasant afterlife and which don't. His comments towards Seraphim could thus be interpreted differently, and his sense of justice might be the reason for his offer. Season 1 spent quite some time on putting together Seraphim's character, and it is undeniable that someone who knows his whole story would feel a certain amount of sympathy for him. While Hades is supposed to judge Seraphim's soul and punish him for his crimes, it's possible that he wants to give him one final chance. His reasoning may not even be rational, but could be based on experiences he made in his own past, and he may recognize a part of himself in Seraphim. The very iconic line, "Kneel," could thus be different from Hera's obviously arrogant demand, and may be the first step of Hades trying to break break Seraphim before building him back up. Another possibility may also be that Hades is aiming to become the king of Olympus, but not out of evil intent. When Hera and her allies left Olympus, Hades offered them refuge in the underworld, while staying neutral and choosing not to enter a conflict that he was clearly not a part of. That further underlines his balanced personality, and to be honest, makes it seem like a wise decision to let him rule over Olympus. The other gods may be of the same opinion, since they seemingly felt safe in his care. Hades may not be longing for power, but feels that what Olympus needs right now is balance and stability, which he is able to provide. Possibly Hades may only want to take control to prevent someone destructive like Ares or Poseidon from doing so. Especially Poseidon is said to be one of the moodiest and most hot-tempered of the gods. While Seraphim finds a new mentor, Heron will probably need some more time to deal with Zeus' death. Fortunately, he has gained some loyal friends and very likely a passionate romance. In addition to that, his heroic actions apparently made some gods reconsider their opinions of Heron. Especially Hermes and Apollo, who are illegitimate children of Zeus too, show true signs of acknowledgement by addressing to Heron as their brother. Heron may not be a god, but he has awakened divine powers. And moreover, the hardships of his past have shaped his humble, yet courageous and sincere personality. I'm positive that whatever trouble it is the gods or the world may be facing, he won't be able to look the other way. He used to reject the idea of helping those who treated him unfairly, but I believe that the events of season 1 changed him. He lost his loved ones and has seen what evil exists in the world, what could raise the feeling in him that no innocent soul should have to endure the same pain he felt. Furthermore, should Seraphim make a comeback as an antagonist, Heron will do everything he can to stop him once and for all. Another plot element that will probably be expanded in season 2 is Alexia's past. When she was walking the fields of the dead, she had a vision of her dead mother and her father, who was blaming her for her mother's death. First of all, I'd like to know how her mother died. The likeliest answer would be death by childbirth, but many other things are also possible. And in order to be able to understand how Alexia may be the cause of her mother's death, we have to know all the details. Second of all, it is crucial to know if her father truly believes that Alexia is the reason why his wife is dead. Thinking back to what the other people saw in their visions, I guess that the fields confront those who cross with what they fear most, meaning that Alexia's father has probably never blamed Alexia for it, but may still be grieving. What arises the deep fear in Alexia that her father could secretly hate her. Besides that, Alexia is the Grand Archon of the Amazons. The position of the Grand Archon is basically that of a king or queen. In other words, now that the demons are defeated, Alexia will have to return to her people, and I'm excited to see how the Amazons will be portrayed. Originally, the Amazons were a tribe of warrior women and daughters of Ares. What is the reason for their wild and aggressive nature? Judging from how we got to know Alexia, the Amazons appear to be skilled fighters but not combat loving. On top of that, in many interpretations, there were absolutely zero men among the Amazons. While in Blood of Zeus, there is at least Alexia's father. Moreover, right at the show's beginning, Alexia welcomingly offered Heron to accompany her. For these reasons, the Amazons' relationship with men could be portrayed differently and more open. In that scenario, it is necessary to provide a proper reason for why they are portrayed this way. For example, it would be inappropriate to explain the Amazons' openness through sexual reasons, when it would make more sense that Amazons generally show admiration for any capable fighter who carries the spirit of Ares. Anyway, the Amazons are an impressive people, and I'm convinced that they will have an important part to play later on, also in regards to further seasons. While we're talking about further seasons, so far only the second season has officially been greenlit, but the producers explained that if they get the chance to tell the whole story, Blood of Zeus is going to be a 5-act story. Therefore, season 2 could be a lot less action-packed than season 1 and may be used primarily to establish the overall tale's foundations. What would also align with the Parlapanides statement that season 2 tells the story of the 3 brothers. Stay tuned for Blood of Zeus news and visit the channel for more cartoon content. See you next time.